And it gets addicting because on the other side of fear is your dreams and everything that
It
gets easier. Yeah, because it gets fun too. You're like, all right, what's my limit now? Like, so,
there is no wrong choices or decisions. Is that what you say?
right. I don't believe there are. I believe there's what's meant for you and what's not meant for you.
I'm talking from a man point of view, okay?
Right.
I think from a woman point of view as well. Because scientifically, I just hear a podcast last night that scientifically women need more sex than men. It's backed by science.
Wow.
What's your thought on that? Welcome to Placer Filosófico podcast. My name is Jordan Gonzalez. This is a conversation with Christine. Christine is an amazing and beautiful human being. She's been traveling for around 6 years by now. She is a professional digital nomad. In this conversation, we talk about how to be a professional digital nomad, how to overcome the fear of the unknown. We talk about long-distance relationships. Do they work or do they not? We also talk about settling, having a family, and many other things. Given so many requests from our friends, this is the first episode of the podcast that we film in English. Thank you for being here. Please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and enjoy. Christine,
Hi.
welcome to the show, Placer Filosófico. In this podcast, we talk about life. We explore life through philosophy and through arts. Welcome to Placer Filosófico. Esta es la primera vez que tenemos un episodio en inglés. This is the first time we have an English episode. I think we have a very good information that Christine will tell us about. She's a professional digital nomad, if I can say that. And she's been traveling for 6 years. Is that correct? 6 years on the road, working and living abroad. Living the experience, I think, is an experience we all wanna live at some point in the life. To begin this conversation, which I am very excited, Christine, I will start rather deep questions, okay?
Oh boy.
What is the meaning of life for Christine?
Ooh, we're going in. Wow. I think the meaning of life for me
Yeah.
is to have fun.
So have fun, huh?
To have fun, to create play, joyful memories, and to live fully every experience. That's the best answer I got.
Yeah. Like having fun in everything you do, no? Like, but this is required to find the passion of your life, you know? What is your advice to find the passion of your life from your point of view?
The passion of your life.
Yeah.
The things that make you smile and bring you joy. I feel like it's a more simple answer than what a lot of people, think. They put pressure on themselves to find one thing that really lights them up. But I think it's more so, how can you find joy in every moment, in everything you do? And for me, it's more of, just doing those activities that I really enjoy and bring me ease and flow into my life, which is usually creating something.
Okay, so when you're creating, you feel like alive, no? It's like, what puts your heart on fire, no?
Yeah.
We can say that way.
Yeah, creating.
And
that expression comes out in so many different ways, depending on where I'm at, what I'm doing, what I'm working on.
Yeah. For what I have read on your blog, on your very nice website you have made,
Thank you.
you believe that we are creators of a reality. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So, tell me what kind of things, what inspired you to create your reality?
Sure. Well, I think there's two ways to look at it, right? We're either victims or creators. So I felt so victimized in my life for so long. I went through a long period of depression where I just felt like life was happening to me and it was so overwhelming. And that sort of, launched my journey into figuring out, like, what is the fabric of life? What is the nature of reality? And is there some way that we can actually influence it? Or are we just, floating on planet Earth and having all of these things happen to us? Or is there something more out there? And that sort of is what started me going down the rabbit hole of, I guess, law of attraction. I first discovered The Secret when I was 14, and I got really nerdy about it and no one knew what I was talking about. But yeah, that's kind of what started the premise of figuring out that we're all creating our own realities based on energy, and what we focus on expands, and yeah, our beliefs are creating constantly.
Okay, tell me a little bit about the secret. Like, how do you see that law? Because it's a law or it is a part of a law?
So the secret is based on the premise of the law of attraction, which is the
Okay.
law.
So the law is this law of attraction, and the secret is based on.
Yeah, it's like a book. They turned it into a movie. I actually haven't watched it in a long time, so
Okay.
yeah,
The book explain the law of attraction. Is
correct.
that correct?
Mhm.
Okay. Because I have listened to many things about, like, from different points of view. Is either good, it is bad, it's
Yeah.
used to monetize, So I haven't put my thoughts in order regarding the secret. But yeah, you have told me a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good little intro. It's a little taster. It's like it's a light introduction to the law of attraction. It's definitely not my favorite book or Bible, but it's like something that I was like, wow, is this real? Let's play,
Okay. But everything comes to the point where you attract what you think, right? It's like your thoughts are the main creators of your reality.
I think that's one part of it. I also think your beliefs have more weight than your thoughts, because if you're sitting there thinking, oh, I'm so rich, I'm so abundant, but you're actually believing you're inherently unworthy of abundance and you have a lot of limiting beliefs around it, you're not likely to create a wealthy experience.
So let's take, like, the thinking is one step. Second is to believe that you deserve or you are worthy of abundance.
Yeah.
But then it comes the action, no? Then you have to put yourself in action, right?
Yeah.
So in order to achieve your dreams or whatever you want to achieve, you have to put those three things in order. What do you think?
I think that's very true.
It's very true, no?
I think you have to be able to hear what's meant for you and take inspired action towards those things. I don't think just like sitting on the couch or in a hammock all day is going to get you towards your goals and dreams. It's very like practical thing, but there's a mindset piece and then there's a practical component, and when they're combined, that's where the power really happens.
So now coming to you, I think you have gone through these steps to make your lifestyle real, because you live the dream. I have to say. You travel the world, you are from the United States, you're in Tulum now, and you are a digital nomad. You don't have to be in a certain place to be working and making money, and yeah, you can go wherever you want, basically, correct?
Yeah.
So how come you did that? I mean, what was the first step? So I want to do that, and maybe many of us want to do that.
Well, I think it's important to understand a little bit like where I came from and sort of what my fabric of reality was growing up. So I'm from a very, very small state called Rhode Island in the States, and there was not a lot there of art, of inspiration, of expression. It was very much like a one-track field. So from a young age, I never really fit in. I never really like subscribed to that way of living. The 9 to 5 sort of office life was never something that excited me. So I always kind of felt like, like how can I enjoy my life and not feel like I'm settling sort of when I grow older. I never wanted to grow up because I loved being a kid and playing and creating. So from a young age, I kind of knew there was like something weird and wild that I had to do, you could say. And then I first studied abroad when I was 21 and started discovering travel in the world. It was my first time out of the country when I was 21. And that sort of changed everything because I started feeling this passion for life, this inspiration to create. And I started meeting other people that were like living this digital nomad lifestyle. And that's sort of when the communities were first starting, and it was first kind of becoming like a topic that was.
And you jump in?
Yeah, I jumped in.
Like, you wasn't scared?
Oh, I was super scared. Yeah.
How you get through this fear? How you overcome the fear?
Just going through it. There's no easy way to overcome fear other than going through the fear and seeing what's on the other side of it. And it gets addicting because on the other side of fear is your dreams and everything that
it gets addicting.
Gets easier, yeah, because it gets fun too. You're like, all right, what's my limit now? Like, can I meet myself there? What can I learn from this?
Well, that's kind of very simple, no?
It's simple, but it's not.
It's simple. It sounds simple.
Yeah, but in practice, it's actually like the most challenging thing you can do, right?
Yeah, because what do you do with this feeling of uncertain? How do you say?
Uncertainty.
Uncertainty.
Yeah.
Like you don't know what's gonna happen. You
Right.
don't know how what kind of people you're gonna meet,
Hmm.
and you don't know what you're gonna do for a living or how this will work out. So it's like it's freezing. I mean, to me, it freezes me. Like
Yeah.
it makes me feel like shit. Okay.
Mm.
So the fact that you just jump in and just go through is inspiring. It's
Mm.
very nice.
Yeah. And I think it's through failing along the way where you kind of gain that self trust to keep going. Because I've been in some really, you could say unfortunate situations, ultimately, like being stuck places or having travel plans not go, as you wanted. And that's where you really start to learn your own power and cultivate self trust. So you can start to feel, powerful and like you can really do anything and get through it.
So you start to grow,
Start to
actually.
grow. Exactly.
Start to grow. Cool. And tell me about relationships, having this lifestyle. Like you are in some place
Yeah.
and your boyfriend is not there.
Yeah.
Like how this work? Do we go to polyamorous or because in my experience long distance doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting question and one I'm actually currently sort of trying to navigate. So I'm kind of still learning about this. It's been challenging, to be honest, like meeting people along the way and then just having to let go time and time again and say goodbye is something that is like one of the biggest cons, I'd say, of this lifestyle. But you realize you always have to put yourself first at the end of the day. And if you meet someone special and they're supposed to be in your life, they're going to honor you in your process, right? So if that means leaving for a certain amount of time and discovering yourself, then the right person's going to respect that. So,
Reserving yourself. You mean reserving your heart or reserving your heart and body?
well, I think we all create agreements that work for us, right? So,
This is the thing. This is
mhm.
the agreement thing is what it fix, what it make it work.
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
because I mean, being honest, I think the hardest part is the. I'm talking for a man point of view, okay?
Right. The
I think
physical.
for a woman point of view as
Yeah.
well, because scientifically, I just hear a podcast last night that scientifically women need more sex than men. It's backed by science.
Wow.
What's your thought on that?
Wow. That's surprising to hear. I would think it's the opposite.
Me too. I mean, what's what normal is thinking, but if you think about women is
Mm,
the sex that has one organ specifically for
sure.
pleasure,
Okay.
and men is meant to reproduce themselves.
Okay.
So yeah, what is the point of open relationships, or is this the way open relationships or polyamorous in a digital nomad lifestyle?
That's a good question. I'm definitely not an expert on polyamory or open relationships, but I can speak for what's true for me. And I think that study I'd be curious to look at if it's a need for sex or if it's a need for intimacy, because I think there's a big difference. And maybe that need for intimacy is greater than a man. I don't know about sex though. Maybe. But yeah, I think it's all based on agreements and doing what works for you and your partner and making sure there's just a really open and clean dialogue, right? Um, I think it is hard to go a long period of time without, you know, relating to the opposite sex while traveling and to, just have like one person that's a million miles away. Um, but I don't know. I haven't really been in this situation recently that I can speak to. So, no, I lied. No, I lied. I'm navigating it now and I'm trying to figure out the right answer to this question.
That's what I mean. See, so even,
I don't know yet.
so even if we want to say like, I mean, I try long distance
Yeah,
relationship. I try. It's painful
it's
though.
hard. Yeah.
And I think it requires to be really mature,
Yeah.
like to be uh, with the grounded, and to know what you want. So how I mean, I think honesty has to be above
Sure.
everything, Say this
Yeah.
happened. Actually, I kiss someone else. Okay,
Yeah.
how you you take away the need to hug your lover, like you're living in a place where it's beautiful, you have the beach and everything, and
Mm,
and you have someone, but you are not enjoying that with that someone, you know.
it is hard. It's hard. Luckily, we have technology and FaceTime and stuff, but it's totally not the same. So
Yeah.
I feel like a good question when, like, going on a date would be like, so, like, how location independent are you hoping to be with your life? Like, is that something that you value, travel and, not being stuck to one location? Because, yeah, like, that's a big value of mine. So,
And just you I guess you have a boyfriend, or you have a boyfriend that is not with you here, right? So didn't you think like maybe I will not get a boyfriend before I go traveling no much?
well, I haven't had a boyfriend for most of my solo travel. So, it hasn't been really a factor. However, like I said, it's like a very new situation I'm navigating. So I couldn't tell you that I'm an expert on this topic, but I will say, like, most of my traveling years, I spent healing and on a very uh, self-focused journey in terms of my heart and what I wanted in a partner, what I wanted in myself, what I had to heal to get those things. So a lot of it was very selfish and solo. Of course, there were people along the way, but they all taught me ultimately something about myself. So, yeah, now I'm finally feeling in a place where I'm pretty open-hearted and can share that. So this is all new to me.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool. That's cool. So
yeah,
I think we all get that point. To me, happen after being 30 years old. You get like, okay, I know that I need to focus on myself and the real things, the
sure.
real things in life. Okay, tell me about your art. You do photography, right?
Mhm.
It's beautiful, these photos you do. What filter
Thank
you
you.
use, or is
Filter. Well, 10 years of practicing editing filter on Lightroom. No, I'm just kidding. My own filter. I made my own.
oh, you do you
Yeah.
press it? Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have some tips for me? Like I never get a good picture. Like what should I
Yeah.
think of when I take in a picture so it
Mm,
looks good?
I think half of it's practice, half of it is playing with the light for me and like seeing how I can manipulate the light to make an interesting subject. Um, in terms of editing, it's
Trying,
just trying, yeah, seeing
like
what,
anything in life, just
yeah,
going through the.
seeing what speaks to you, what kind of editing style. I get lost in editing. It takes me hours and hours and hours to edit
Oh.
photos. I love colors, so sort of my rabbit hole.
I have another question here. I think we all have these problems at some point in the life. How I think you know about these things. How you conciliate your heart desires with your mind. Like
Mm,
how you know what to follow.
brain
You
and
know.
heart coherence. How do
Yeah,
you
yeah,
regulate that?
yeah.
For me, it's meditation every morning. It's quieting the mind, opening the heart, as Ram Dass says.
Okay.
And it's a practice. It's a consistent practice of showing up for yourself, listening. And to listen, you have to turn down the dial on our crazy, crazy monkey minds that we have every day. And that takes discipline because you have to literally train your body to sit 20, 30 minutes and focus on the breath and listen to the heart. So I think meditation for me has been, well, I know it's been like the biggest game changer in terms of balancing the two. And naturally, I think the best decisions come from the heart anyway. So,
This is what I think too. I think the heart is what we need to follow, but there is a fear that it may go wrong.
okay.
No, like how do you logically tell the heart to be careful?
Mm,
Maybe not regarding love, because if we talk about love, it's like, okay, you're gonna get hurt anyway, because love, the nature of love is pain, because you become vulnerable, no?
sure.
But regarding like career, or say I'm gonna go
Mm,
here, I'm gonna go here, I need to go here, I feel like doing this or not. How do you go deep on the logic and train your mind to be reasonable
mm,
to make the best of the decision? What do you think of that?
mm. Yeah, I think it's about trusting yourself and giving yourself permission to fail. Because I think a lot of it's fear, and fear is avoidance of the worst possible outcome, right?
Okay.
And ultimately, fear is just the mind trying to keep us safe. So when you realize that and you realize love is the ultimate truth and there's no wrong choices or decisions, you can just keep kind of going, right?
There
So,
is no wrong choices or decisions. Is that what you say?
right. I don't believe there are. I believe there's what's meant for you and what's not meant for you. What's a yes? What's a hell yes? What's a no?
Wow, that's that's very interesting because you have to risk anyway. There is no paradise without risk.
Yeah.
No,
Exactly.
I have mixed feelings between this nomadic lifestyle. For one side, I like it. I think it's a beautiful experience. But coming down to earth, I have seen that also settling in a place,
Yeah.
it makes you build community
Yes.
with the people you hang out. Also wealth, because you can buy lands and things like that, for example. Have family, which is natural,
Sure.
biologically
Yeah.
condition. You can also have family while traveling in digital nomad, no? But is it good for our generation, for the future of humanity, or how do you see this situation?
That's a good question. I think for sure always being curious is a good thing. I mean, inherently is seeking knowledge, ideas, experiences for yourself. In terms of values, I think that's the real question is like, what do you value personally? And for me, that is changing. This fast-paced sort of travel lifestyle is slowing down, and community is becoming sort of my biggest value and creating stability for myself. So that's why I've spent so much time in Tulum, about 3 years, and now my second home is becoming Canada, where I have a apartment as well and a community there that I'm building. So um, yeah, I think it's always a good thing to be curious, but at some point in your life, naturally your cycle of movement will slow, I believe. So for me, that's what's true right now.
So it's more like related to the age, no? So let's say we growing, we born 20s, we finish college or high school, and then these years coming to 30, 35 is when you can use it to be a nomad, digital nomad, and live
Yeah.
with experience. I think based on own experience, it slowed down, as you say, the desire of seeking adventures once you reach the 30s. No, it's like
Yeah.
it comes the natural biological need of building a family and settling.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
does it happen to you, or you are not there yet?
Oh, I'm approaching there. I'm almost 30. So I'm 29 years old. I'm starting to sort of reevaluate my priorities and what I want my life to look like down the road. I'm starting to think more and more about, and family is a part of that for sure. So yeah, I think when you're younger, you have for sure more energy to seek experiences. I think for me, it was like the biggest uh, I didn't want to have FOMO in my 40s and 50s of like not seeing the world and like trying all these new experiences. So I just kind of went full on. And I have a lot of energy too. So that's sort of why the 20s were right for me. But I don't think there's just one right age, you know? Like I think you can have a pretty low key, maybe 20s and 30s on your career path. And then your 40s, you know, you decide you just want to try something new and be free and go meet new people and see new culture. And I truly don't think there's a wrong age to do it.
Okay, okay, it all depends of the individual, no?
Yeah.
Tell me about budgeting while traveling.
God.
I think it's a mess. I think you need someone who tell you know do my budget. Tell me, give us advice.
Budgeting.
Yeah, about budgeting. Yeah.
Something I'm learning about more and more every day. Budgeting. Well, I think it's important to have money, you know, before traveling, but also like realize you can always make money while traveling. Um, I think it's good to have an idea of how much you need, you know, to live a good life, to live your best life, and to just get by, and to sort of have those figures in your back pocket. And that's always going to sort of change while you're traveling, at least for me as a freelancer, as someone who's, you know, working at inconsistent incomes. It's important to be flexible with your spending, your lifestyle. Some days you'll have more, well, some weeks you'll have more lavish weeks, and then some other weeks you won't. So I think it's important to create a buffer, is what I'm learning as someone who has a business and inconsistent income, is to try and have like a 3-month buffer of expenses.
3 month cover at least. No?
Ideally,
yeah. At least, yeah. Yeah, before getting into a journey.
But I'm honestly like, I've made it work somehow. Like, from zero, I've still been able to travel. So,
Have you gone to travel with just 1 month?
oh
Of,
yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
How did that go?
Well, when I first started out, I was lucky because I had a safety net in Boston. I was a real estate agent. So
Okay.
I was able to come and go as I wanted. And what I was doing to fund my travels for the first like 3 years was going to Boston, working in real estate, making money, and then going to Europe and spending it all. So for me, that was my best life because Boston rents are crazy. So I was capitalizing on that economy and then going to cheaper places and having like a
Hmm.
decent inflation in my pocket. So,
I read that you have gone free rent some places also.
mhm.
Pet sitting.
Yes, pet sitting. I love that. Yeah, I've stayed a lot of amazing places for free. There's websites. Trusted House Sitters is my favorite.
House sitter.
Yeah, house sitters.
Housesitter.com.
Trustedhousesitters.com. Yeah,
Trustedhousesitters.com.
link my referral code for $10 off your first year.
Ah, there you go. Yeah, we're gonna get all the links of Christine in the description of this episode. So
But
you
there's
get to.
amazing houses, like amazing. There's like castles in France and all over the world. There's these just beautiful
Uh-huh.
homes and gardens, homes with gardens, castles, villas, like lakefront. Amazing. You can stay for
Wow.
free.
Well, yeah. Tell me the website once more.
Trustedhousesitters.com.
Trustedhousesitters.com. Okay. So look, you see, I've use an example. Okay, I want an advice. Like if I say I want to go to Bali next week, what do I need to take in consideration according to
Mm,
you
in terms of,
in terms of budgeting and then in terms of mindset, in terms of yeah, maybe I don't know websites to look at.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. For me, I really try and understand the community first, like where people are,
Hmm.
whether that's online or like co-working spaces or, certain towns to be in or like where are the hot spots? Where can I find friends and people? Because usually I don't know anyone when I go somewhere. So that's like the most important thing is to have like friends, people you can trust. So I always start planning before I leave for, um, jumping into a community, whether it's a co-working space or even a restaurant or something like that so I can meet people. And then budgeting for sure, like making sure you have enough money to go is always smart. But
Hmm.
I wouldn't say it's like a requirement necessarily because you can go places and work.
If you're brave enough, yeah,
If
you
you're
have to
brave
be
enough.
brave for
Yeah.
that. Do you recommend to be in hostels? Like, do you recommend like?
Oh, yeah. If you really want to sort of socialize and live cheaply, I stayed in hostels for the first 3 or 4 years and I still love them. I'll still go to them even if I'm not staying in a
Hmm.
14
Hmm.
bunk dorm room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think technology like ChatGPT, artificial intelligence, all those things help digital nomads to make money? Like to say, you know what, there is ways to make it. Like now it's most possible. That
Mm-hmm.
it's more possible than ever.
For sure.
Do you think that helps? Do you have any
Absolutely.
advice on that?
About technology?
Yeah, about like what to do, what kind of work, like freelancing,
Hmm.
uh, whatever.
Yeah. Well, something that's really helped me, I mean, we can thank technology for this lifestyle in total, I believe, but there's certain websites and communities I always recommend, like Facebook groups. There's so many different Facebook groups for remote jobs and co-working communities abroad. Upwork.com, you can do freelancing, you can hire a freelancer. Um, that's my favorite website. Well, that's how I got started.
That's how you get started.
Yeah.
Now, well, I have a question.
Okay.
As you're an American, no? As an
So,
American.
I don't know.
As an American, do you think you have an advantage of the rest of the world? Taking in consideration that
Mm,
politically, economically, the economic power is America, and certainly your passport is more powerful,
mm,
and you got backgrounds and businesses, companies are Americans and everything. Do you think you have is there an advantage of an
yeah,
American than to
for
the rest
sure.
of the world?
For sure. Yeah. When you zoom out in the greater picture, and I have to ask myself this question sometimes because, it's just sort of who I am, so I don't think about it too often, but for sure there's an advantage with all of the commerce and the economy and everything. So for sure, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So
There's also
anyway, it's hard for us.
disadvantages.
Yeah. Okay. There is
Lots of
disadvantage.
weight as an American as well, because
Yeah.
we're kind of
But it
shitty
doesn't
sometimes.
mean that anybody else from Latin America can do it. I mean,
Right.
everyone can do
Oh,
it.
for
You
sure.
know?
I have so many friends that have come from all walks of life, all backgrounds, all over the world who have made the lifestyle possible. So,
Okay. So yeah. Give us to finish. Give us an advice regarding being a digital nomad. Give us an advice about love in the digital
Oh my
nomad
gosh.
space. As the experience you have,
Mhm.
what is going on with your life and everything. And yeah, something some tips that can help people who want to live the digital
Mm,
nomad life to make it true. To make that dream
yeah.
come true.
I'd say first, you have to be willing to get really honest with yourself and look at your beliefs and what you believe about yourself and what you can and can't do, and be willing to challenge those, right? What's not possible in your life. There's so many limiting beliefs that we have, that I had. There's only one way to make money. What about safety? What about security? Mexico's dangerous. Like all of these
Yeah. Okay.
limiting beliefs, right? If I let that stop me, I wouldn't be here today. So I think it's really getting honest with yourself and being able to listen to where that fear is coming from, what's holding you back from living your best life, and then doing it, breaking through the belief, right? Just walking past it and saying, okay, I'm going to try something new. And then you become more resilient. So that's what I would say about the digital nomad lifestyle. Just do it, feel the fear and do it anyways. That's sort of my favorite.
If you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend back home, like how can you have the courage to leave this person and say, goodbye, I go? Like,
Well,
is there hope?
is there hope? Are you coming back?
Is there
I
hope? Are you
love
coming
you.
back? You're going forever?
Yeah.
How you go at this point? I think when you have a relationship, there is no way to separate because it's so globalized.
Yeah.
Like you can really do whatever you want.
Yeah. We'll try and bring them with you, first of all. Try and get them to quit their 9 to 5 and bring them with you.
Because, okay, we didn't talk about 9 to 5, but 9 to 5 is basically what holds us back, no? Is what you have to do, what everybody does, and what keeps you safe. So first of all, you have to have in your mind, like, you know what? This is not for me. It's not what you...
Yeah. Well, I don't think 9 to 5s are bad. But if they're limiting, like, your ideal lifestyle and what you really, want your day-to-day look like, then yeah, I mean, there's always ways to work remotely. Like most of the skills that we do, as we've seen during COVID and the pandemic, we can do online. So if there's a way to, position that to your employer or become your own business, take your skills and, start freelancing or, make a brand, then I'd say that's best case scenario, right? Second case scenario is say, I'll see you in a couple months,
So 9 to 5 is no longer something that can stop you. Like it's not longer a big wall to break.
I don't think so. And I think employers are starting to understand the value of remote working as well.
Do you think? Because what I have seen in the pandemic, I've seen that everyone work from home and everything is how we do it. But after the pandemic, it's like you have to come to the office, like the production, it's not the same. Do you think is a way to the future on this?
Yeah, I mean, I think in the future, like 20 or 30 years, it's all going to be sort of remote working. I don't think there's going to be offices in the same structure as they are now. Maybe some hybrid component of like 1 or 2 days a week in the office, but employers save money too of not having real estate. There's a lot of advantages. I think it obviously lies on the nature of the work, right? Like some jobs are more dependent, like laborious jobs and things where you need to be there in person to perform the tasks. But I think everyone has a skill set inside of them that can translate to more freedom-based, lifestyle.
So everything comes to the point. Like look at yourself, look inside, find what's your core value, and follow your heart.
Exactly. And sometimes like a 9 to 5 or working in one place, that's gonna be what's right for you. I mean, I know it was right for me for a while. Like after this constantly working on my computer, I just wanted to work in a coffee shop. So I got a job in a coffee truck for a couple months back home in Rhode Island just to
But
have
that
the
happened to me
experience.
also.
Yeah.
Okay, so because you miss the human
Yeah,
contact,
for
no?
sure. You need that community. That's the most important thing, whether it's a nomadic community or if it's in your town or city.
What skill set you recommend to learn? What skill set, like technology, talking, photography, coding?
Mm. Well, first, think about what you enjoy doing and think about which one of those things will add value to someone's life. What problem can you solve in someone else's life? It could just be one skill. It could be that you speak 2 languages.
Okay.
So you could be a translator, right? It's like, what do you have that someone else wants that might be easy for you to do? And for me, that's always been photography and graphic design, primarily. So that's how I make money and sustain the lifestyle.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, thank you for your time, Christine. I
Thank
appreciate a
you.
lot your
Appreciate it.
patience and the willing to be in this show.
Yeah.
I think it's very enriching your knowledge, and also that give us courage, like people like us that want to live the dream of being a digital nomad and just go anywhere in the world.
I appreciate it. Thank you so
Yeah,
much for having me.
it's very nice, and yeah, thank you. I'm so thankful for you to
Oh,
been here.
thank you.
Everybody, it's Christine. Uh, we're gonna
Thank
give
you.
you the Instagram and everything.
Aw, thank you so much. This was fun. I appreciate it.
Thank you.